2.
Is it this one, number 6?
Don't know. Might be something we can explore. Okay, so everybody, thank you. Just want to say, Brian and Freddie didn't realise how close they lived together until they actually got together to form Smile. Harold May and his wife Ruth moved to Feltham after the war. Harold, electronic engineer, served in the Royal Air Force where he met Ruth, who was serving in the Women's Royal Air Force. Brian was born in Hampton Hill but moved to Feltham at number 6 Walsham Road. This is where the red, or the old lady Brian fondly named, the electric guitar that himself and Dad made out of anything they could lay their hands on. It got its name Red due to the wood it was made of. The neck was made of an old fireplace. The hand-carved fret made from mother-of-pearl buttons. Tremolo arm was a bicycle saddlebag holder, topped off with one of Mum's knitting needles. The workshop is where Harold made and created all his electronic appliances, which included the family's TV. Brian played the Red at Buckingham Palace, the national anthem for the Queen's on her Golden Jubilee, of his dad. Plus, living with a woman which later became his first wife, Chrissy, caused a rift between the relationship, and they didn't talk for 2 years. This caused his mother to have a nervous breakdown. She hated seeing them not getting on. In 1977, Brian flew both his parents to Madison Square Gardens, now New York, by Concorde, which Harold had worked on as an engineer but couldn't afford to fly in it. Unfortunately, Harold died at the age of 66 of cancer, and Ruth later died at the age of 76 of an aneurysm. Ruth worked in the local chemist Moss at Feltham High Street. I'm just going to find my notes. Here we go. Like I said, the residents, when Brian and his family was here, Mum and Dad, residents gave me memories when they lived here. These are the memories of a neighbour in number 3, just behind you, Walsham Road. Brian grew up in 6 Walsham Road and went to school at Carden Road Infants and Hampton Road Junior School in Feltham. He got a scholarship in Hampton School, and his mum told me he won a music competition, thereby writing the tune of Happy Birthday backwards. He built his famous guitar, the Red Special, in the house with his dad when he was 16, something his dad was very fond of talking about. His mum and dad were always very proud of his musical career and were keen to share any news of how he was getting on, such as signing his first record deal. I have some early Queen singles, as Brian would come over excited to give copies to his parents. They would then pass some on to me, telling me all about how he was getting on, and so I became a lifelong Queen fan. Fans would come to see the house and often knock on the door expecting to see Brian. Fans were sometimes very persistent and chose Christmas Day every year as their favourite time to visit, as they thought Brian would be there with his parents. His mum and dad learned very quickly to go and visit Brian over Christmas to avoid the crowd of fans outside their house. I remember myself, my dad and other residents from the road trying to explain that Brian and his parents weren't there to these fans on Christmas Day. They either didn't believe us, but they would just stand outside the house for several hours. Right, my last drop is the Freddie Mercury house.